Let's talk about what happened to 13-year-old Laura Ayala. Laura was born on October 29, 1988. She's described as being a very shy and reserved young girl, but she was also very organized and did very well in school. She was an honor student and was a part of the chess club, writing club, garden club, and she always got A+ on everything, and she took school very seriously. On Sunday, March 10, 2002, Laura asked her mom if she could borrow some money to walk to the store nearby. She needed to buy some newspaper for a project that wasn't even due tomorrow, but she really wanted to get it done tonight. Her mother, Angelica, said, "No, it's 10 p.m., you're not walking to the store by yourself," but Laura insisted that she really wanted to finish this project tonight. Despite her mother telling her no, Laura left the apartment complex at around 10:15 p.m. She walked to the Broadway convenience store that was located inside the Conoco gas station that was literally less than 100 feet from her apartment. It was literally only a 2-minute walk. Around 5 to 10 minutes after Laura left, her mother Angelica realizes that she was gone. She started to get worried because it's only a 2-minute walk, so why was Laura gone for so long? She decides to walk to the store, and when she gets inside, Laura is nowhere to be found. Angelica asked the employees if they saw a little girl come in and buy some newspaper, and they say yes. They said that a girl matching Laura's description came inside, bought the newspaper, and then quickly left alone. She starts to look around and she ends up finding Laura's sandals and the newspaper she bought scattered in this parking lot between the gas station and the apartment. Angelica immediately began to scream and panic, and she called the police department and reported Laura as missing. Since Laura's belongings were found scattered, police believe that she may have been abducted. The convenience store didn't have any cameras, so they weren't able to see if maybe someone approached Laura or if maybe someone followed after her. People in the community were very supportive towards Laura's family, and they were out there helping the police and searching for Laura. A witness comes forward and says that they saw a full-size mid-1980s maroon cargo van near the convenience store at the time of Laura's disappearance. A neighbor comes forward and says that they also saw the same van parked in the parking lot where Laura's belongings were found. They said the sliding door was open and that either a Hispanic or Caucasian male was standing near the van. Since it's believed to be a work van, police were able to track down a man named Martin Marmolejo. Martin worked as a plumber at the gas station, and the night that Laura disappeared, Martin and his partner were actually there working, but his partner left and Martin stayed there alone until 10 p.m. His van does match the description of the van seen at the time Laura disappeared, and police have questioned him, but they believe he's more of a witness than a suspect in the abduction. So police continue with the investigation, and they start to follow a new theory that maybe Laura was put on a bus and taken to Reynosa, Mexico. A bus driver from the El Expreso bus company told police that a man and a woman boarded this bus with a young girl fitting Laura's description. When he checked the passenger's log, this girl's name was Laura A. Okay, part 2 is up now. So police were able to track down the couple that boarded this bus with the little girl, and they realized that when they arrived to Reynosa, Mexico, all 3 of them separated. So to this day, police have not been able to confirm this sighting, and they kind of think that this was a dead end. So then a few months go by since Laura's disappearance, and police have no leads, no suspects, and no idea as to what happened to Laura. Then in August of 2002, police begin investigating 3 men in connection with the murder of several women in East End, Texas. These 3 men are 25-year-old Walter Alexander Sorto, 24-year-old Rafael Cubas, and 16-year-old Eduardo Navarro. In February of 2003, the 3 of them were arrested for the R-word and murder of several women. Edgardo and Walter were sentenced to death, while Navarro was only sentenced to 13 years since he was only the getaway driver and was only 16 years old. So the trio admitted that they would sometimes use Edgardo's father's car to use for these abductions. So police search the father's car, and they end up finding blood that doesn't belong to any of the known victims. These detectives are familiar with the case of Laura Ayala, so they call the Houston Police Department and they tell them, "Listen, you need to get a DNA sample from Laura's family ASAP because we might have found something." So they get the DNA sample and test it to the DNA found in the back of the van, and it comes back as a match. This blood found in the back of this van used by 3 men to abduct and murder young females belonged to 13-year-old Laura Ayala. The trio says that they had nothing to do with Laura's disappearance, and to this day, they deny everything. Since Laura's body has not been found and the only evidence they found in the van was Laura's blood, these 3 men have never been charged with her disappearance or murder. To this day, Edgardo and Walter are still on death row, and they continue to deny having anything to do with Laura's disappearance. Navarro already served his 13-year sentence in juvenile prison, and he's just out and about now. I'm sure if he did have something to do with Laura's disappearance, there's no way he's going to admit to that now because he's free. I truly hope that before these men are executed, they come forward and let Laura's family know what happened. Laura would be in her 30s now, and she had a full life ahead of her. It's really sad that all she was trying to do was buy some newspaper to complete a school project, and someone had to take her life from her. I know Angelica lives with a lot of regret, and she wishes she could have stopped Laura from leaving that night. The last update I saw is that Angelica still lives in that same apartment and that she hopes that Laura will come home soon. If you guys know anything about what happened to Laura, please contact the Houston Police Department. She needs to be found and properly laid to rest. All my thoughts and prayers go out to Laura's family, and I hope that she's found soon.
Do y'all remember when a lady found a cooked finger in her Wendy's chili? Here's the story if you don't. In 2005, Ayala claimed she found the finger in her chili, causing Wendy's to lose millions of dollars in sales. Wendy's did an investigation and found that the finger had actually come from her husband's co-worker. He had lost his finger in an industrial accident, and I guess he kept it and probably sold it to them or something. Anna was arrested and served 4 years in jail and then broke her silence after her release. She told reporters that she cooked the finger herself and then drove it to the Wendy's and plopped it right in her